Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be reading 3 of my most anticipated romances of 2025, and I am so looking forward to it. I don't know if you have noticed over here on this channel, but the past few videos that I have done, I have been reading things that are challenges for myself, shall we say, books that friends are recommending to me, reading the 2015 Goodreads Choice Award nominees, things like that. And while it's all in good fun for sure, and I have found some gems from those videos, I just need like some guaranteed wins. I need some books that are just going to put me in the right headspace, have me excited, you know, about reading, to continue to read, because I'm feeling a slump coming on, and I think if I don't have a 5-star read soon, I might crash out. So that's what we're gonna be doing in this video today. I'm going to be reading 3 romances over the course of like a weekend, just having a good time with all of you. It's gonna be maybe a little chattier than most of my vlogs. Hopefully that doesn't bug you too much. But let me tell you what those books are first before we get into it. First is the book I think I'm arguably the most excited about. Okay, it's a two-way tie, but Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Tully. I have been seeing so many authors and so many people generally hyping this book, saying it is so supremely hot and sexy. I don't know much about it. I think it's like a co-workers in paradise kind of romance, and they don't really like each other. I read this author for the Goodreads Choice Awards for the Romantasy video that I did this year, and I absolutely adored the Romantasy that she has written, so I have a feeling that I'm going to enjoy a contemporary written by her as well. Another book that of course like I'm hotly anticipating, can't get enough, by Kennedy Ryan. I have the audiobook for this one, but I picked up a physical copy at Barnes & Noble today because I just knew I'd want to have this on my shelves kind of no matter what. I don't know if I'm gonna physically read it or listen to the audiobook, but either way, I am so excited for Hendrix's book. She is a child-free by choice baddie. I love that her happily ever after is gonna look so different than the other 2 women in this series. And then the last book that I'm going to be reading is the new Catherine Center book. I think it's called like The Love Haters. I have the audiobook for this one because this is one that I will say I'm mildly uncertain on. I hold out hope because I have enjoyed Catherine Center in the past, even if her past couple of releases haven't really hit for me. So that is the 3rd book that I have, just not with me because I didn't want to commit to a physical copy when I'm sort of uncertain about it. But I do have the audiobook. We will be listening, and it's gonna be a time. Before we get into it, I have to tell you about something else that has really been helping me get into a better headspace lately, and that would be the sponsor of today's video, Calm. Calm is the #1 app for sleep and meditation, giving you the power to calm your mind and change your life. Obviously, everyone has different challenges in their daily life, and mental health is something that just really is not one size fits all. And I love that Calm offers a wide range of content to help you navigate life's ups and downs, things like meditations to really help you work through anxiety and stress, boost your focus, build better habits, and take better care of your physical well-being. They also have sleep stories, sleep meditations, and calming music to help you drift off to sleep quicker, grounding exercises for when you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, which I have to say I have been feeling a lot lately. And they have expert-led talks on things like handling grief, improving your self-esteem, and so much more. I personally have been using the Calm app lately for the guided meditations.
Going to visualize a beach.
Using the meditations like bask on the beach to unwind after a long day, or honestly midday if I'm feeling really overwhelmed, just been so helpful. Calm puts the tools that you need right in your pocket and can help you dedicate a few minutes every day to a happier, healthy life. And for my viewers right now, Calm is offering an exclusive offer of 40% off Calm premium subscription at calm.com/ChandlerA. Go to calm.com/ChandlerA for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. Again, that's calm.com/ChandlerA. Thanks again to Calm for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now let's go ahead and get cracking on some delightful romance reading, shall we? I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm turning over a new leaf. However, I really don't like spending the majority of a video complaining. So I decided to read The Love Haters first because I had an inkling, I had a suspicion that this book wasn't going to be my cup of tea, but I needed to read it video purposes for, you know, future videos, and it's a new release. You know, I did want to see if this one would be better for me than some of Catherine Center's recent publications. However, this might be my least favorite to date. So I'm gonna tell you my 50% thoughts, okay? Also, if you can hear thunder raining here, which never happens, so I'm kind of excited about it. We're just rolling with the punches. So The Love Haters is about our main character, Katie. She has been dumped by her high school sweetheart, who is now a really famous singer. He has gotten really, really popular, and she no longer really like fits his life. You know what I mean? He is in some ways kind of trying to like win her back. I guess like a year or 2 later after the breakup, she got called some really ugly things by the media, like she was not good enough for him, she wasn't pretty enough, etc. So she really took that to heart, developed an eating disorder. A lot of this book is about that. I have to put that out there because I didn't read that at all in the description of this book. The book is pitched as Katie is working at a production company with this guy named Cole. Cole pitches the idea for our heroine to go and interview this guy for a little documentary, or not even a documentary. She has her own documentary series, which she's like also trying to like work into the situation, but to make an advertisement for like the Coast Guard or something like that, because the hero of this book, at least I think he's the hero of this book, has like saved a dog or a person. I think it's Jennifer Aniston? He like saves Jennifer Aniston's dog, and so he goes viral and then kind of disappears because he refuses to do interviews after this like viral moment he has. She is going to go, guess, help the Coast Guard make like an advertisement or whatever. And I keep saying Coast Guard, I could be totally wrong. I don't honestly give a shit. She decides that she's gonna go, and she doesn't know how to swim, but she is going to, I guess, help this production and learn a little bit about what this guy does and like what his job entails, etc., etc. So she like falls for him over the course of the story. Now, my issue, again, let's get back to the eating disorder topic, shall we? Nowhere in the description of this book did I understand that this book would be so heavy on the eating disorder topic. There were no trigger warnings when I went into this book, the audiobook. I mean, it could be in the physical book. It seems weird that it would be in the physical book and not audiobook. A lot of the book. And I thought it was just going to be one mention, right? So our heroine at the beginning of the story says something to the effect of, we broke up, I kind of stopped eating, or I started tracking everything that put in my body, and I felt like I did a good job when I ate like no food. I finally burned my scale, or my friend burned my scale. And I was like, okay, this is disturbing to read about, but certainly this is going to be the last that we hear of it, and she's moved past it. No. The majority of this book is our heroine being deeply insecure about her body, kind of hating herself, not wanting to wear color because she hates herself. And I have personally never experienced an eating disorder. And even I am finding this book incredibly triggering. So I just don't really know who this book is for. I find it uncomfortable to read. I'm not saying that we shouldn't read books with characters who are going through hard things, right? But we're supposed to believe our heroine is like mostly out of her disordered eating, and yet she is, again, still horribly insecure. Again, I'm just like struggling to understand who this is for. If you have an eating disorder or have had one, I don't think you should read this book. If you've never had one, I still don't think you'd want to read this. Like, it's just not fun. I don't think every book has to be fun, but the cover of this book, the vibe of this book was supposed to be fun. And I think that our author is hoping that this book would be fun. I don't think that this topic is lighthearted and is something that you can just like squeeze into a rom-com and just like hope it works. It's deeply unsettling. And that's kind of how I felt about the last book and the handling of a certain topic. I'm just gonna say it, cancer was handled pretty poorly in her last book. And in this one, I'm just genuinely scratching my fucking head. Not to mention, I don't really see the chemistry between the hero and heroine here. I guess he's attracted to her, likes her physical form, which is validating her as someone who is very insecure about her physical form, but I don't like that. And it's a personal preference thing always, right? Some people might pick this up and might feel validated, might enjoy this character's journey. I personally am not feeling that way. And it is my opinion that I, at this point in my life, only really want to read books with characters who are secure in their physical form. I'm not saying characters can't have insecurities or maybe, not like one or two things about themselves. That's totally fine. That's normal. That's human. This book and then another book that I've read recently with a plus size heroine, we don't need characters who hate themselves. Like, what a bold idea. What a bold thought. I don't want characters who are perpetuating this idea that women need to be perfect to be valued or to love themselves. I feel like we're very much past that as a society. I think we're heading back in that direction of hating ourselves again, and I don't fuck with that, and I don't want to read books like that. I'm not gonna bitch anymore. I don't like this book, but I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna give you a brief wrap up tomorrow, most likely, and then we can move on to greener pastures, baby, because I know that the next two books are going to be fucking phenomenal, right? We had to get the stinker out of the way first. We had to do it. Hello, friends. It is Tuesday, and we have so much reading to do, and by we, I mean me. I'm in bed, which feels a little bit weird. I normally try to not get in bed before 5 p.m., but I'm on dog watching duty. If you have seen my community post or you are following me over on Patreon, our older dog, Dingo, he is gonna be 11 in a couple of months, which is crazy, was recently diagnosed with cancer. He had a tumor removed on Friday. It's Tuesday, so it hasn't been that many days. He is just heavily medicated, and we're trying to make sure that he isn't too active because all he wants to do is play. He's like so upset that he can't play. Hayden's at the grocery store. I'm on dog watch duty, like one-on-one, like we're locked in. That means that I have to be down here because he can't go up and down the stairs. So anyway, I'm in bed, and that's okay. I'm not upset about it. I mean, I'm not upset about being in bed. I'm not upset about watching him. He looks so cute right now. I'm gonna insert a little B-roll clip for you to show you what he looks like. He's absolutely zooted. Let's talk about things that are less cute than my dog. Let's talk about The Love Haters. I hate this book. I was gonna try to make a play on the love-hate part, but there's just nothing to love, to be honest. I really didn't like this book. I am honestly, I don't want to say upset that I read it, but I'm just upset that there just was not more care taken with the topics at hand. Only did I not appreciate the introduction without trigger warnings to the sort of ED topics at hand. Ultimately, the way that this book book kind of concluded and the way that it chose to handle those topics, I just don't think was very well done. Our heroine is in sort of like a harrowing situation, and that is the moment in which she decides that she's going to like start loving herself. That and the fact that this really hunky, sexy dude is attracted to her, I just didn't really like that, honestly. Like, I think it is awesome to find hints of validation from your significant other, but your validation as a human being should not come from other people. And I think we all pretty much know that. I just feel like it kind of was a bad message, to be honest. And I don't think that was the author's intent, but that's like kind of what I took away from it. And then on top of that, I feel like the romance was just very lacking, especially when the hero's brother came to town. Oh my God, like that whole plot line really irritated me. Our heroine also had no spine in those moments. I think I'm gonna give it 1 star. And normally I reserve 1 stars for things that I consider to be problematic, but you know what? Since I don't like the way that a very, I think, important topic was handled, I feel okay giving this book 1 star. Like, I don't think this book was like inherently problematic or anything. I think I need to start differentiating 2 and 1 stars, because I feel like I kind of just give every book I dislike 2 stars, and then what's 1 star, you know? So 1 star. Let's talk about a book that I'm liking though. Okay, let's bring the mood up a little bit. Let's talk about Can't Get Enough. Yes, I decided to start with this one because I knew that Kennedy Ryan would lift my spirits, would give me something heartbreaking and heartwarming to read. This book is providing everything that I need. So this book's about Hendrix, the child-free baddie that we have come to know and love from the first 2 books in the series. She is always like the cool aunt who is going after her dreams and is just like very career-oriented, kind of the life of the party, like just such a baddie. I absolutely love her character. But we get to see kind of a softer side to Hendrix's character at the beginning of the book because her mother has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she is trying to do her best to support her mom from afar, but also up close as well. So she's in Atlanta. Her mom is back in her like small hometown. I think Hendrix's aunt is taking care of Hendrix's mom at the moment, but her condition is obviously like worsening. Hendrix is trying to be there as best as she can while also, you know, maintaining her business and doing what she can, again, from afar. There's a moment where Hendrix's aunt calls and is like, hey, your mom's kind of freaking out. Do you want to like calm her down and talk to her on the phone? And Hendrix does that. And I think she's just really torn at the moment on like what she should be doing. Like, is it better for her to be there? Is it better for her to not keep her distance, but like continue to live her life? Like, her aunt has been very encouraging in terms of like having Hendrix stay in Atlanta and like do her thing. But, you know, Hendrix is feeling very torn. And of course she meets a very handsome man at a party. It's like kind of a networking event for her, but also just like, you know, a party. And she meets this really sexy guy named Maverick, and she doesn't realize who he is at first. And then she realizes that he is dating someone that she works with. That obviously puts her in a tricky situation because actually these 2 people, Maverick and his current girlfriend, are like basically broken up at the start of the story. Like, technically they're pretending to still be dating, but like they're broken up, and Maverick's kind of trying to figure out what he wants to do kind of going forward. But he's attracted to our heroine, she's attracted to him, and we haven't really gotten, I don't want to say anywhere with their relationship yet. It's not like these 2 are like both so attracted to each other and having to like fight their feelings for each other. It's not quite that big, but he can't stop thinking about her, and I think that they are a match made in heaven already, from what I can tell. That Maverick ended up breaking up with his girlfriend is because she wants a family, and he has a grown daughter from a previous relationship and does not want to start over, which totally makes sense. And since Dirk doesn't want kids, I just feel like, I mean, that's not the only reason you should be with someone, is if you both don't want kids, but their career mindedness and their personalities, I could just see them balancing each other out really, really well. He likes kind of a more like relaxed, chill life, and even though she's the life of the party, she's not over the top. I don't know. I just think they're going to be like a really good match, and I'm very excited to see their love story unfold. Ooh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I just love returning to Kennedy Ryan's writing. It's delightful, and the audiobook is phenomenal. I do have a physical copy, both of these baddies next to me, because these are what we're reading today. This is going to be my nighttime read. This is my more daytime read, if you will, but you have the physical book, although the audiobook's so good that I'm kind of like, do I even want to pick this up? I knew I like needed this for my shelves and to be able to hold up for videos, but anyway. I'm going to continue to read the audiobook and continue to play with my hair. That's really irritating me. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit, and maybe I'll be in a new location. Maybe I won't be on babysitting duty. I'm standing up so that you have something new and fresh to look at. I am 50% into Can't Get Enough by Miss Kennedy Ryan. I'll be honest with you, I feel like I'm having a very similar reading experience with this book as I did with the newest Abby Jimenez book. My issue is that it's not bad. In fact, I am enjoying it, but I'm just feeling a little bit underwhelmed, which is not what I want to feel when I'm reading one of my favorite authors. And I think it was like inevitable that one of these books in the series was not going to be absolutely perfect for me. I'm hoping that as the story continues on, I mean, we still have like 50% more of this book. That does not sound right. You understand what I'm saying. I've got more of this book to read. I'm hoping it kind of turns around, kind of like the Abby Jimenez one. At the 50% mark of that book, I was like really not into it, and then I ended up giving the book 4 stars. So obviously there's plenty of room for this one to turn around, but I think I'm not really like loving the romantic relationship between hero and heroine. I was like, well, these two seem to have things in common, and I'm excited for them to get to know each other better, hopefully show us like even more that they have in common, but I'm not really seeing that happening. I'm seeing this sexual chemistry, they're spending more time together, but I don't feel like we're having like really meaningful conversations or witty banter or just anything to make me feel like, oh my god, yeah, these two are like perfect for each other. Already had like a sexy moment between the two of them, and I was kind of like, okay, like I don't know, I just like wasn't, oh my god, yes, finally. And that's how I felt when I read the other two books. Like I was like, oh my god, finally. I don't know. I'm like torn on this one. This is still leagues better than most of the stuff that I read, so I'm not like mad at it. I guess I just like had really high expectations, and I'm not like obsessed, you know? Maverick's a great guy. I like Hendrix, but I'm unsure. I don't know. I'm also kind of unsure if I am okay with the context for the start of this relationship. I just think it's kind of messy to have our heroine, the guy that she kind of knows through a mutual friend, like because her mutual friend was dating that person, or not even mutual friend, it's just like a friend of hers. Obviously they were broken up, and so that kind of makes things better, but I don't know. I think context matters for me when it comes to like cheating or getting with someone else's like boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, whatever. I think in this book, like it's neither like dramatic in like a fun, messy sort of way, nor is it not a big deal. So I'm kind of like unsure how I feel about that too. So I'm torn. I think I just need to keep reading. I'm gonna keep reading. I'll come back when I'm done. And I'm also gonna start Not Safe for Work, I think, before I check back in with you. So it's gonna be a yappy next clip.
Well, friends, I managed to leave my house and get a milkshake. It was delicious. It was an Oreo cheesecake master shake. I know everybody is so curious, and that's why we're all here. I needed that, and you know what? I might actually like read in my car a little bit because it just feels so good. It feels good to have left my house. Can't get enough. I have to say, I can get enough. And that's disappointing to me. I really thought this was going to be a 5-star read. I really thought this was going to be like the read of the video. Inevitably, there's going to have to be a book from Kennedy Ryan that isn't going to be my perfect hit. And I think that I agree with like the most popular negative review of this book. I think it really summed up my thoughts. This person was saying essentially that it felt like there was just something missing, like the heart of this book was missing for them. They felt like there were a lot of like disparate parts that didn't end up really playing out the way that they expected. And that's kind of how I feel. It's not that this was a bad book by any means. I mean, it's Kennedy Ryan, like it's not terrible. She could never write a terrible book, I don't think. But I think that like wanted like a middle ground between what Abby Jimenez did and what Kennedy Ryan did in this book when it comes to the caretaking aspect. Caretaking in here, like there were some like heartbreaking, sad moments, and in some ways, like I'm glad that it wasn't the entire focus of the book. That was my main bitch about the Abby Jimenez book. Like, fantastic. I love that representation, but also I wish the heroine would have like kind of gone after what she wanted more, and the hero wouldn't have had to like give up so much to be with the heroine. In this book, the heroine, like, she's there for her mom. I'm not saying she's like a bad daughter or anything like that. It didn't like fit well into the story. And that sounds weird to say. Like, obviously hard things happen in our lives and they don't effortlessly fit into the story of our lives. You know what I mean? Like some things just suck. And that's true. I don't know that it was like woven into the story like I know that Kennedy Ryan is capable of. Like, it just didn't feel seamless. I don't know how else to like describe it. I don't know, the romance like just kind of fell flat for me, which I'm surprised at, because I thought at the beginning of the story so much promise. I really thought these two were going to be like perfect for each other. And I'm not saying they weren't, and I'm not saying that like the ending wasn't touching. I liked the epilogue. I thought it was really sweet. I don't know, there's just something missing for me. And I think I'd give this book 3 stars. Like, very solid, like not a bad book, but just not really as emotionally resonant as I wanted it to be. When you're reading a book specifically for that emotional resonance and it just doesn't land, I think that that can be tough. So we have one more book, guys. We have one more book, and I'm hoping that this other book that I brought in my car just specifically to hold it up to talk to you, I hope that Not Safe for Work will maybe land a little bit better for us. So this book is about our main character, and I don't know how to say her name. I don't know if it's supposed to be Trisara or Trishara, but she goes by Tris, so we're just gonna say Tris. Tris is an engineer at this firm called WMC Purcell, and she has been passed up for pretty much every promotion, every leadership opportunity at this company, and it's basically a boys' club. She's just like not having a good time, and apparently this is based off of the author's experiences in some ways. So I do, appreciate that she is drawing attention to this issue that sure we all at this point know exists, but is still very much pervasive. So Tris has been again passed up for opportunities over and over again, whereas her coworkers, mostly men, have been, rising in the ranks, especially this guy named Rafe. I think, is it Rafe or Raf? Like there's an E at the end, so we're gonna go with Rafe. Rafe has been not passed up for these opportunities because he is the son of one of the VPs of this company. Whenever there is this announcement at a company-wide meeting, she is surprised to find that not only is Rafe nominated and going to this like leadership conference, she is also getting a spot there as well. And it's going to be kind of an all expenses corporate leadership retreat in Hawaii. Hello, sounds amazing. And she really uses this opportunity to be like, okay, why was I nominated for this? She like goes up to Rafe's dad and asks this, and he's like, well, because you're qualified and we're sorry we've passed you up so many times. And she's like, okay, well, if that's the case, you're going to pay for me to get first class tickets and you're going to pay for my luggage. And I don't know, I just like the way that she kind of laid down the law. But it's very clear to me that she is very sexually attracted to this guy, but she doesn't want to act on it. Like she's had some bad experiences with getting with coworkers in the past at like a different company. She thinks he's kind of a dick. She doesn't like the whole Nepo baby kind of thing. But again, she's like attracted to this guy, and I'm sure it's going to be kind of a forced proximity, not necessarily enemies to lovers, but like workplace nemesis sort of situation. And I'm liking that this book isn't as serious. I know that the Love Haters probably wasn't aiming to be incredibly serious, but the topics there, I mean, let's be real, you're pretty serious. And then Can't Get Enough, like, wasn't exactly a lighthearted read either. Although I will argue it was probably like less hard-hitting to me personally, maybe just because it wasn't as emotionally resonant. Anyway, we don't need to get into the details of that. But I think because this book is not aiming to be super emotionally charged, like I somehow think that I'm going to like it more for that reason, just because I've like been reading two books that like didn't land because they were trying to be emotional and it just didn't work for me. Maybe this one will. I mean, fingers crossed. I think it could happen. So far, I'm liking the writing. I like Nisha's writing. I have read another book by her before. What was it? Trial of the Sun Queen? That shit was good. Okay, that was like one of the only romantic books that I liked from that romantic video. So home, and I'm gonna keep reading. My goal is to get 50% in and update you tomorrow when I'm finished. Ooh, I know I said I was gonna finish it tonight. Actually, I didn't say that, but that was like my goal. And unfortunately though, or fortunately for me, I have to finish a Patreon new release vlog. And I will link that actually, because that'll be posted before this one. So if you want to get my thoughts and feelings on the new Elizabeth O'Rourke book or the new Carly Fortune book, or there was a third book that I read that I can't remember the name of, and I think I disliked it, but releases, you know, they're also on Patreon. I do two extra videos a month over there. And we also do like a hangout once a month where we just like chill. And do reading sprints and I yap for hours and hours. I know it just sounds so great, you know, as if this wasn't enough for you. I will leave a link description, one to the video, the new release vlog. If you want more new release, you know, kind of videos from me, it's $3. If you want both videos this month and you want to hang out with us, there's still time. We're actually hanging out on Thursday. You can subscribe. It's $5. So anyway, just thought I'd plug my Patreon while I'm here. I'm gonna go though and get on my other camera. I love my mini mic, but this isn't really, it's not feeling like a mini mic video to me. Okay, bye. I'm here in a very glamorous state of undress to tell you my 50% thoughts on safe for work. I'm actually here to do my makeup because I forgot that I needed to do a thumbnail for this video. So I need to like get beautiful, or as beautiful as one can get, or looking like this to start. I am enjoying this. I think it's cute. I will say, like, I'm not obsessed with it and I'm kind of spiraling just a little bit because it's been a hot second since I have had a video like this. I mean, okay, granted, the last new release video I did, I think the only book I really enjoyed was the new Abby Jimenez, and even that was not a 5-star for me. Now I'm panicking even more because I'm also not like obsessed with this book, and I gave the other two books that we read 3 stars. Wait, 2 stars and 3 stars. And it's like, is this going to pull through for us? Is this going to be the book that I end up enjoying? I don't know. If I don't enjoy anything, then what? You know, I have to post this video, so, you know, I don't want to bitch the entire time. Can I tell you though, and I know I've already plugged this, I plugged this yesterday, the Patreon one that I did, I liked 2 of the books. I gave 2 of the books 4 stars, both very, very good. So if you want to hear me being exuberant and talking positively about books, mayhaps go there. But I have to be real. I have to be true to myself. And this book's cute, but I'm not like, oh my god, this is amazing. Granted, you know, 50% in, maybe like things are really gonna spice up or get interesting from here on out. I will say, to the author's credit, we haven't had any banging it out or even kissing or anything up until this point. So it is kind of a slow burn. They're not really like true enemies, I would say, but they do still kind of have an antagonistic relationship even at this 50% mark. And I know that that's something that y'all tend to take umbrage with. It's when authors say something's enemies to lovers and then, you know, it's not really. Granted, I don't think this was marketed as enemies to lovers so much as like workplace kind of like antagonism and workplace nemesis kind of thing. And I mean, that's kind of the vibe, you know, it's still kind of the vibe, but we're trying to get to know each other better because of course these two are sharing a hotel room. I think that we could probably have all seen that coming from a mile away, but yes, there is a, you know, only one bed sort of situation, and the hero has been sleeping on the couch, but our heroine and him,
our heroine and our hero agree to share this big ass bed going forward. And I'm sure we're gonna get into a situation in which we wake up and we're like entangled, because when the fuck does that not happen? Also, our hero has been a little bit more forthcoming than I was expecting from him. At the beginning of the book, I don't want to say he's closed off, but like we literally know nothing about this man, you know, compared to our heroine. I mean, even then we don't know that much about her, you know, beyond her job, but we do learn about like a previous relationship of his, and also like the standards that his parents have kind of like put on him for staying in the relationship that he was in, and also just like, you know, doing well in his career. So I guess we are getting some more insight into his character, which I'm appreciating, but I feel like there's just something missing for me. I feel like I need a little bit more context. I'm like comparing this a little bit to the On Honeymooners in my mind, but I think the thing that I liked about the On Honeymooners is that you kind of understand our heroine's insecurity at the beginning of the book, right? Her sister is the lucky one. Her sister is in love, and while that's a misconception that she has, that's something that like kind of follows her throughout the book, and that's something that she has to kind of grow from. I guess you could say that this heroine, like, she had bad luck in love dating someone that she worked with, and like maybe that is going to be the thing that she grows from, but I feel like I need a little bit more there. I feel like I need to understand more about like her family, more about her wishes in life. I feel like at this point, once these two get together, I'm just gonna kind of wonder why we didn't get more of a character arc or journey for our heroine. And like, yes, she's at this leadership conference, and yes, she wants her career to kind of advance, but I don't know, there's just like some element that's just missing for me, and I think it really is kind of the depth of character development there. But we'll see. I mean, things could definitely turn around. It's definitely an enjoyable read. I am, you know, curious to see these two get together, because there's definitely a sexual attraction there, and I like that our heroine is open about it. Like, she's not embarrassed, I guess, by the fact that she's attracted to this guy, or she's minimally embarrassed. Like, he knows that she's into him sexually, or at least he like alludes to that fact. He's always like, you know, oh, like, stop gawking or whatever, and like he's joking, but like I think he knows that she's into him sexually. And I mean, he thinks she's pretty too. I think that's the vibe I'm getting, but regardless, I don't know. There's something missing, but I'm also not upset at it. Like, it's a fine book. So now that I look appropriately scary, honestly, this lighting is so horrendous. It's crazy. Why did I decide to do my makeup in here? I don't know. This is where I normally do my makeup, in the mirror, and so I don't have to like think too much about like my pores and generally looking like a ghoul. Okay, I'm gonna finish this and hopefully look a lot better. And I'll give you my final thoughts and feelings on this book. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think I'm gonna give this book 3 stars. And that's like a generous 3 stars, because this book just never really went anywhere. It's not that it was terrible. It's not that the sex was unreadable. It's not that the relationship was in any way toxic. I just didn't really feel any connection to these characters, to their romance. It was just very, very, very surface level. And I said that I was like kind of looking forward to something a little bit more low key, but I think you can be low key and also not be surface level. Again, like, I just read 3 new releases who I all thought were more exciting and or went a little bit deeper than this book did. I read a book called Crash Landing by Annie McQuaid. That was the book that I liked the least from the new release vlog that I did over on Patreon, and I still enjoyed that one more than I enjoyed this one, which is just so disappointing, because I had heard so many of my favorite author friends like hyping this book up. I like Nisha's writing. I just feel like it was kind of lackluster. At the sort of 60% mark of the book, we start to understand like why the hero is the way that he is, but we start to understand like what his true passion in life is. We have our heroine making some like big career decisions as well, but neither of them felt very like momentous or oh my god, yes, finally, or oh, that makes so much sense. It was like, okay, sure. It's like, it's moving the story along, but I'm not like, oh my god, yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think this was fine. Even when it comes to like summer romance recommendations, which I tend to be, I don't want to say more lax on, but I feel like with a romance for the summertime, I'm not necessarily looking to give y'all recommendations that are like super heartbreaking or super, super emotionally dense. That's not to say that a book is bad if it's not those things, right? Or it's lesser or anything, but the books I tend to recommend for summertime are like fun and funny and sexy and like, you know, can sometimes make you cry a little bit. This doesn't really like fall into those categories for me. Like, this isn't even like a super, oh my god, yes, this is a good lighthearted summer read. It was just kind of like, you know? And I can't help but compare it to other books that are in kind of a similar vein, like On Honeymooners. It's like, if you're looking for something like this, I think On Honeymooners does it better, which I hate to say, because like, obviously most people have read that book by now, but I am glad that our heroine stood up for herself. That was nice. But again, I even wanted more from the plotline about her kind of like workplace harassment. It kind of wrapped up really quickly, and I wanted to see, not her like suffer, definitely not, but I definitely wanted to see more questions, I guess, for the people who did wrong by her. So anyway, that's it. I read 3 books and I gave them all middle of the road ratings, except for that first book, which I thought I said 2 stars. I gave 1 star to that first book. So wow, this was quite the dud of a video, was it not? I think that's just kind of par for the course. That happens sometimes. Wish it would happen less frequently, but I am very hopeful. I remain hopeful. In fact, give me a second. I actually just scooped up 4 new books today at Barnes & Noble that I'm so excited to be reading here on the channel. I am a video where I read basically like 30 new releases every month for the months of May, June, and July. Actually, maybe August as well. There's a lot of months where there's new releases coming out, and I'm so excited to read them and share them with you. But here's 4 of the ones that I just picked up today. A Fate Forged in Fire by Hazel McBride. I haven't heard anything about this one, but the cover is really pretty. It's a love story by Annabelle Monaghan. I haven't had the best luck with this author, but it's for a video, so like maybe we'll see. I really am obsessed with this cover. Along Came Amor by Alexis Daria. Hello. Her covers are always so amazing. This one has a similar color scheme to You Had Me at Ola, which I think is the only other book that I've read by her, but hello. Excited about this. And then of course, the piece de resistance. This is going to be featured next Wednesday. So if you want to hear my thoughts and feelings on this one, you want to hear me gush about a book and not bitch about books, stay tuned for next Wednesday's video. It's going to be an actual like reading vlog, like a weekly vlog for me. Casual, chatty, we're going to eat food, we're going to have a good time, and I'm going to read problematic summer romance. And you're going to see that next Wednesday. Candidly, I'm starting this today, okay? I'm turning my life around, but thanks for watching, y'all. Sorry it couldn't be more fun. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.